4 True Creepy Alone at Night Horror Stories. 1. The Shadow on the Rooftop. It was past midnight. Shuvo was home alone. His parents had gone to the village for a few days. The summer night was unbearably hot, so he decided to go up to the rooftop to get some fresh air. The city was quiet, the streets empty, and a warm breeze rustled through the trees. As he stood near the edge, staring at the dark horizon, he felt something, a presence. The unmistakable sensation that someone was standing right behind him. Slowly, he turned his head. Nothing. But as he was about to brush it off as paranoia, his eyes caught something unusual. A long, dark shadow was moving along the rooftop. It wasn't his. And it wasn't caused by anything nearby. It was just there. Frozen in place, Shuvo watched in horror as the shadow slowly turned towards him. But there was no body. No figure casting it. Just the shadow itself, twisting and contorting unnaturally. Then, a sound low and eerie, like someone chuckling softly. Before Shuvo could react, the rooftop door slammed shut with a deafening bang. He ran towards it, pulling and kicking at the door, but it wouldn't budge. It felt like someone was holding it shut from the other side. For what felt like an eternity, he struggled. Then, suddenly, the door swung open on its own, and he tumbled down the stairs. The next morning, when he finally gathered the courage to return to the rooftop, he found something chilling: 2 black, charred footprints near the spot where he had seen the shadow. The prints looked as if someone had been standing there, burning. And yet, there was no sign of fire anywhere. 2. The face at the window. Mahi was home alone. His parents had gone out for the night. It was just another usual evening, and he was lying in bed, watching a movie on his phone. Everything was fine, until he heard it. Tap. 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 A soft knocking sound at his bedroom window. His heart skipped a beat. It was past midnight. Who could be outside? His bedroom was on the 2nd floor. There was no balcony, no ledge, nothing a person could stand on. Trying to shake off his fear, he convinced himself it was the wind. But then tap. 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 This time, it was louder. Slowly, hesitantly, Mahi turned his head towards the window. And there it was. A pale, ghostly face pressed against the glass. Hollow black eyes. A wide, twisted grin. For a second, he couldn't breathe. Then, as if reacting to his fear, the face moved closer, its grin stretching unnaturally. Mahi screamed and turned on the lights. In that instant, the face vanished. He rushed to the window, but there was no one outside. No sign that anyone had been there. But then he saw them wet footprints on the ground below, leading away from the house. Someone or something had been watching him. And it was still out there. 3. The voice that called my name. Raffi was studying late at night, his mother fast asleep in the other room. The house was silent except for the occasional sound of the ceiling fan creaking. Then, from his mother's room, he heard it. Raffi. Come here. The voice was soft, familiar. His mother's voice. Thinking she needed something, he got up and walked to her room. He peeked inside. His mother was sound asleep. His blood ran cold. If she was sleeping, who had just called his name? A chill ran down his spine, but he told himself it must have been his imagination. He returned to his room and shut the door. But then, Raffi opened the door. This time, the voice was right outside his room. Trembling, he stepped back. His mind screamed at him not to look, but his body moved on its own. He leaned forward and peeked through the keyhole. On the other side of the door, something was standing in the darkness. A tall, shadowy figure with no face, just a gaping, black void where its eyes should have been. Raffi stumbled backward, heart hammering in his chest. He wanted to scream, but no sound came out. Then, just as suddenly as it had come, the presence vanished. The air felt lighter, as if whatever was there had finally left. The next morning, when he told his grandmother about it, she looked at him gravely and said, "This isn't the first time. Your grandfather heard the same voice, the night before he died." 4. The mirror that wasn't me. Sohan never liked mirrors. There was something unsettling about them, the way they reflected everything so perfectly. But that night, during a power outage, he had no choice but to use the bathroom with only his phone flashlight. As he washed his face, he made the mistake of looking up. And then he saw it. His reflection wasn't moving like it should. It was a fraction of a second behind, mimicking his actions with a slight delay. Sohan froze, staring into the glass. His reflection stared back. Then, slowly, the reflection's lips curled into a smile. But Sohan hadn't smiled. His breath caught in his throat. He stepped back. The reflection did not. It was still standing there, grinning at him with hollow, empty eyes. The lights suddenly flickered back on, and everything was normal again. His reflection moved as it should, copying him perfectly. Shaking, Sohan ran out of the bathroom and slammed the door shut. He refused to look in a mirror for the rest of the night. But the next morning, as he passed by the bathroom, something caught his eye. The reflection in the mirror was still smiling. And then